Hey gang, Schlocktoberfest has been watching you, and it's a review of the movie Attack of the Eye Creatures. Apparently, the U.S. Army or some sort of military has been trying to cover up the fact that they have been spying on people making out on some old farmer's land. Well, apparently some of these cameras are setting up around to, well, from what they say, are supposed to be watching the skies for aliens. Well, some weird-looking creatures wind up coming to Earth. And what do? Well, of course, they attack. And one couple named Stan and his girlfriend Susan discover the creatures, and they try to tell the military, the police, and everybody else that they can about it. But of course, naturally, well, the police don't believe them, and the military kind of plays like there's nothing going on. Of course, that's how the military does things. So, naturally, Stan and Susan are out to try to save the world from the creatures, and the creatures go around mostly watching people making out in their cars. And they come across a guy named Mike, whose friend was attacked by one of the eye creatures, who decides he wants to help them out. They discover that in order to defeat the eye creatures, you have to flash some sort of light at them, like a camera or something like that. Well, it would seem like every time they would seem to have some sort of evidence of the creatures, of course, everything goes completely wrong. And when Mike joins Stan and Susan to try and get a picture of a hand that was left behind by one of the creatures, it dissolves, and that's when they figure out light can kill them. So Stan and Susan go to this makeout place owned by this grumpy old man who, for some reason, people like to go around his land and make out and everything like that. I guess I figured, probably abandoned anyway, and the old man won't hear him. And they convince a bunch of the make-out teenagers to turn on their headlights and make the eye creatures dissolve once and for all, which apparently works. The eye creatures are defeated by the light. I guess not blinded, but I guess it's a different kind of story. And Stan and Susan go on with their little engagement thing they had going on throughout the entire movie. The only star of this movie is Peter Graves, and he was in the beginning of it doing a narration over some really crappy low-budget special effects for spaceships and stuff like that that would make Ed Wood look at it and go, I've done better. So why did this movie suck? Well, for one, it's a TV movie. And two, if you're thinking the eye creatures look anything like what you're seeing right there, you are way wrong. The eye creatures look like they had ping pong balls stuck all over them, and they had this big, open, wide mouth or something like that. You had these two guys that kept watching people making out on their TVs, trying to be a comedy duo, and, well, they were about as funny as putting, I don't know, probably about as funny as putting a dozen nails into your own hand. Or just having a dozen nails land on your hand. How about that? Is that better? Okay. Anyway, the movie is total crap. It really, really sucked. It's a TV movie from the 60s. And the worst part about it was the language. I don't know how many times I heard the word heck in this movie, but it really got tiring. It got annoying. It's not a great movie. What can I say about it? I don't think the budget on this was much, and you could definitely tell from the film that they had Peter Graves narrate in the beginning of the movie that this was not going to be a very big budget movie, even for a TV movie of the 60s, but it was pure crap. Before I wrap this up, though, I want to give some shout-outs to some fellow YouTubers that do horror movie reviews and horror movie collectibles and things like that. I'm going to try and do that for about the next week or two, and I hope you guys will go check these channels out and subscribe to them. So please go check out Brian Barnes, The Late Late Horror Show, Aaron Pinn, Retro Slasher, The Homicidal Homemaker, and Phantom Ginger. And I hope you guys go check out their channel, subscribe to them, and And if you tell them Doc sent you, you will get a 50% discount off your next tattoo. I have no idea where, but who knows. So I want to thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And of course, this has been a review of the movie Attack of the Eye Creatures. If you've seen it, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below about how you feel about it, whether you agree or disagree. And of course, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. If you got a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, fantasy horror movie that seemed to have very bad depth perception from everybody who was a part of it, and who obviously couldn't see that the movie was going to be really bad anyway, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching, and Schlocktoberfest will continue until Halloween. We save the worst for last. So until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.